I've been thinking about some fun stuff to do, and August is just like, hey, we're going to do some talks. Do you feel like doing something? I'm like, all right. And I made it a challenge. So I'm Bhavesh Upadhyaya. I've been with the SVTA for a while now. I've also been in the streaming industry for a long time as well, too. And I'm the head of the AI committee for SVTA. So I said, let's talk about some stuff here with AI. But the way I use it is a little different than what other people have been doing. And I'm thinking it's an idea about how do I get it to work with metadata. I've been doing a small projects for the SVTA, like helping, I did some stuff for David, I did some stuff for JT. And the way I think about it is, how do I use this code to do batch processing of lots of data and come up with some interesting information about it. And what I found, yes, no? Clicky, there we go. There we go, okay. I lost my understanding of thought. What I found is that I think people are putting a lot of trust in LLMs and just saying, here, give me an answer and then just get the response back. And when I'm doing things in batch, I realized that there's a lot of ways to get around it. With JT for the SVTA chatbot, I helped him do some fine tuning. So we took a look at all of the documentation that SVTA had. I put in a prompt that said, you are now a senior streaming consultant or in the industry, and you're a professor, and I want you to look at this document, and I want you to come up with N number of questions. I want you to figure out exactly what information needs to be pulled out, and then create questions and answers, and create a JSON-L file for all that information. And that was used to help train a lightweight model. So now that model can be used to help somebody else. Now, that's a time-consuming task, and that also now means that it's now stale. So is there a better way and a faster way and a lighter way to do this type of stuff? And let's give it an example of something that you want to work with fast. So I picked up brand safety. And I'm going to use an agentic method to do a human-in-the-loop iteration on the data as it's coming through in a batch process, so that as a human being, sometimes you know what you know and you don't necessarily know how to explain it, in which case, how else are you going to write a prompt? So what better way than, instead of just starting off with a basic prompt and then go through a bunch of examples, and then you go around and say, I would have said this, I would have said that, and here's my reason why. And now take that information and batch that up and turn that into the next prompt. That's what we're looking at as an optimization of that process. Right? So we'll, static rules, things like that we talk about. If you just say something, does that rule, and I'm trying to find the edge cases. I'm trying to find those locations where a prompt like you can't necessarily explain all your details around it. All those, I wish Craig was here. We can talk about the edges and bumps. Oh, there he is. This is the Craig scenario. And so we definitely don't want to do, and this is AI generated, so. I'm going to get to the ugly parts, Glenn. I do have uglier slides than you, the ones that I wrote in my own. So human feedback, as an example, it's going to look at the stuff, and I want to just jump into the screenshots because I think it's more fun. You can see it. I've got it running on my laptop, and I have that. Again, this thing is not clicking, so it's all right. Okay, well, there we go. It's running a little Streamlit app. I had AI help me write the app as well too. It's a front end and a back end. It has an ability to do local or hybrid, which is local for a lot of the batch processes, and then hybrid for the higher reasoning, which is the actual generation of the new prompt. I have an ability to choose Gemini or OpenAI for the cloud side, and a bunch of other models for inside there. I have multiple asset sets, and then right now the brain guidelines is blank. Some general information around there. And I think in this scenario, start the process. I killed it, I clean it, and I run the batch. What I did is I have examples of about 20 video scenes. And so we're doing a brand guideline analysis, and with those 20 scenes, this is my Clipsy, 1, 2, here we go. This is what the original prompt looks like to go out there, and it runs through that prompt 20 times for every one of those scenes. And so I don't necessarily have a metadata standard out there. I'm sure there is one that looks at scene analysis, scene by scene analysis, and talks about what was a description of that scene, and that's the metadata around it. So we'll go through and figure out, it's told, okay, what is the category? Is it safe or not safe? What is the confidence? And then what is the reasoning behind that? First run, I'm not sure how long this video is, but I'll just jump over. It's a minute 52. Let's just jump through. I'm just going to click through. That's what it looks like when it's going all the way through, and you see this is the zero shot example. The result comes out, and what we're looking at is how accurate was it? Did it kind of match a static set on if it's safe or not safe? What's the precision it had inside there, and what is the coverage in terms of how precise was it? How many times did it go above like 80%? 80% confidence. This is one of the cool things I added inside there is I wanted to, not necessarily expose all the logs, but I wanted to at least show people, hey, what does that trace look like? And so I put a little tab over here for the trace, so you can actually see the response that came back from the model and tells you what it thought and why it thought that. Now we go into the human-in-the-loop review. I picked 5 examples of things that, yes, it's alcohol, but hey, this is fine. So how do I describe that? Like, hey, wedding toast. It thought it was 75% confident that it was not safe. I said, no, this is safe. And I put an explanation about it, and I saved it, and I went through with 5 others inside there, and this is my idea of what this should be. Then on the optimizer side, now it builds up all those examples, pulls them all together, and then I send that to the generate reinforced policy. I send that to a higher reasoning model and it basically tell it, okay, here's the original prompt. Here's all the things that I'm saying are exceptions. Let's create a better prompt inside there as well too. So I can just jump through. I like this example. This is the new prompt now. So now it's gone through and it's created a new prompt. It's got new calibration guidelines, and I ran out of space, so I just basically said that safety exceptions. It does a few more shots now. Now it adds some examples of what it is, and it goes from there. Then we run through a second generation run, and I did 2 runs on it. One which was running this again on the exact same training set. There's the new brand values that are lined up. Then I go back into the batch runner, and come on, go. Oh, I forgot the learning curve. This eventually will populate as you can actually track to see how much better it gets over time. And now you see this is human-in-the-loop enhanced. We're moving forward, and now the next one. Second run results. I'm just going to jump through. Don't want to run time. Thanks to David for letting me know about the videos, although they are working now. The video actually has better examples when I did it on my laptop while David was talking. My run didn't run as well because I only did 1 example. I was short on time. So the numbers actually went down instead of up, but normally it should go up. But at least now you can track how confident it was in terms of generating the next answers after we did the training. And then the validation run is the 3rd run, which now goes against a new set of completely different examples. And so now you get to see it in action, and now you can see more confidence, higher level confidence, higher coverage on the things that normally would have been, it would have tagged as unsafe are now safe. And again, you can now run this multiple times, and every single time you can go through, go back to the human-in-the-loop review, pick the ones that you think you're off a little bit, and you can either confirm it to say, yes, absolutely, you're right, keep doing more of this, or turn around and say, nope, this actually is okay, or whatever, and you've marked it as safe and unsafe, and train it for the next run. Definitely, one of the examples was the anniversary dinner. It showed a lower confidence, but it did think it was safe though. But now you're getting to see a little bit deeper into the reasoning around these LLMs and what they can do, and I think that by doing it this way, it's real time. You're able to see the prompt change right away. You're not waiting for a fine tune of a model that might take a week or 2 later on. And it's much better than just simply trying to mentally change the prompts on your own. This is not prompt engineering for human beings. This is prompt engineering using human-in-the-loop training to figure out what you're thinking without having you say it completely. That's about it. Thank you very much.